Hello, hello. Thanks for joining us on the Nikki Maduro Show. I am Nikki Maduro and she's Kim McAllister.
Wow.
And thank you guys for being here. It's a gorgeous day around the Bay. And wow, what a week we've had, especially this past weekend, Kim McAllister. We are going to talk World Cup. We'll talk politics as well. But it was just sports-wise, I would have to say insane. I mean, the World Cup is obviously ongoing, but with the New York Knicks winning, how New York went off the hook. Of course, right-wing media was not having it. It was just a great weekend to be out and about. And I love that summertime is here and we're just doing it. You have kids at home. I have kids at home and in summer school. And it's just been such a fun start to the summer. I'm stoked.
Kind of bad because I didn't schedule my son for any camps and he's got his face in an iPad.
Oh,
So, you feel like you have to like roust him up and get him out.
I mean, I do get that. There's always a point in the summer where either I feel like I haven't done enough or they haven't done enough. And usually what my solution is to drag them to the library. But this year, I mean, I have a senior, like we have seniors, like they're not going to listen to a word we say about what they're doing this summer. And then my son's a sophomore now, and he has some goals. He has some school goals and workout goals. So it's like I just kind of want to let them just do their thing.
Yeah.
And if it gets too bad, I'll just snatch their phones and make them hang out with me. That's usually their punishment. Is you just have to hang out with me. It's hang out with good old mom. She's home all day. So we can do that and we can have fun. But yeah, thank you everybody for being here. I know summertime, a lot of people have plans. I'm not going anywhere this summer except I'm going to Lake Tahoe this week, hence why this show is recorded. I'm going to Lake Tahoe to go see a concert with my husband. Yay. But other than that, all of this stuff that we're doing is staycation stuff. Like we're going to go see a couple concerts at Shoreline. I hope maybe the farthest I'll drive is Sacramento after Tahoe, of course. I'd love to go float in the river. I'd love to go do that.
What concert are you seeing in Tahoe?
I'm seeing one of our favorite reggae artists, Burning Spear, is playing. So, I think it was it Live Nation? I don't know. Ticketmaster had this whole like $30 ticket sale going on for like a few days. So we got tickets to see it for $30 and I was like, done. I'm there. So it was definitely a spur of the moment choice because it's a during the week concert, but whatever. It's our only real vacation.
I have a mom question for you. There is a law that says that for the first year you have your driver's license, you're not to drive with anybody
except family.
What is it? Under the age of 18 or 20 or whatever.
20, you have to have, you have to have somebody in the car that's older than that for your kid to drive. Yeah.
Right. If there's other kids in the car, they have to be related to you. Like she can drive your brother to school.
Exactly.
But she cannot have a bunch of buddies in the car. Right.
No. Yeah.
How much of a stickler are you on that? Because it seems to me like I'm the only mom enforcing it.
My sticklerness has faded. I will say that. I'm just going to be full honest, but at the same time, I mean, literally my daughter is home with her friends all the time. So yeah, she takes her brother to school and back. But she doesn't really do anything else. I've been driving her because she lost her car recently and she's also already past the 1 year mark. So, but after a certain time, you're not allowed to, even if you have
11 p.m.
11 p.m. So if she wants to go anywhere, either I'm picking her up or she's Ubering, you know what I mean? So that kind of solves that problem, but no, you're right. Just being honest, like sometimes she just wants to go over to her friend's house. You know what I mean?
Like no one cares, and I'm like, real. It's against the law.
It is against the law. It is, and she's already over it, so don't judge me anymore. I'd be lying. I would be lying if I said I never let her. You know what I mean? Like, but I mean, not to parties. You know what I mean? It's like her friend's over. Can we go to McDonald's? Like.
Yeah, no, I caught Julia last night taking her buddy to Yogurtland.
Right. So like, that's what it usually is. It's like, can we just go? And I'm
why is there another child in your car? And I'm not in there. Yeah.
I know. I hear you. And I feel terrible, like actually admitting that out loud. But like McDonald's is around the corner. And this is the thing that always gets me, Kim. And I know this is terrible to say because I know the rule and the law was set up for a reason.
Right.
They're not that haven't been driving very long. It's more dangerous, yada, yada, yada. I completely agree.
In Nevada.
Yeah, exactly. Like
that girl was
with all her
underage, had
friends.
all of her buddies in the car, and I don't know how many of them died. A couple.
It was after 11 too. So like double whammy.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing that I like. There's just this.
Gen X. Me, Nikki, I'm like, people have died. Don't do it.
Right? And then I'm like,
let me tell
we didn't die.
That I can quote to you where people croaked. Knock it off.
I know, but as a Gen Xer who got her license on her 16th birthday and was out, like, there's also this part of me that's just kind of like, you know what I mean? So I am more on your side than my side, but it is this. We created this rule, and I completely agree with you. And honestly, and I don't mean to like bring up trauma, but bad things happen whether they have kids in the car or not. Your daughter got sideswiped all by herself. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, not saying that it's not the same thing. I'm not saying that. But things can happen no matter what. And so, good luck.
Thanks.
Because she's had her license how long?
Oh gosh, it's just been maybe 3 or 4 months. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I couldn't wait until like Marley hit that spot. Like, okay, go to freaking McDonald's. It's not that big of a deal, but it is nerve-wracking, and they can lose their license. By the way, any parent thinking of doing this is what I would always tell Marley when I said no. I'm like, you get caught, you lose your license. Yeah, like
I said, it's just not worth it.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts. So stop. You know what I mean? And then there's also the case of, it's weird, but not a lot of kids have their license right at 16 and 17 years old or don't have a car. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like part of it you don't even need to think about because nobody's driving anyway, it seems like. And again, no, I'm driving.
Don't you think if you're a cop and you see a Jeep full of girls that are like, woo, you're going to be like,
I'm sure she's not going to watch this, so she won't be mad. Literally, the other weekend, because she can't drive, her and her friend were picked up by her friend's grandmother to go spend the night at her friend's house. Yeah. And another group of friends wanted to stay at the party that they were at. And one of the girls drove with all of her friends and got pulled over. And
busted.
Now, again, I don't know. Yeah, no, because my daughter did tell me that she got in trouble because she wasn't, but I think it was too late. I don't know if she's been over that year mark yet, but either way, you got busted because you weren't being smart. And there's plenty of people to pick you up. That's what I say. I'm like, there's Uber, there's Lyft, there's me, there's your dad. We don't need to do this. We don't need to do this at all. So, but be proud of me. I was honest. Don't get on me. Please do not get on me. But if you want to support the show and support myself.
Like the meanest mom in the world.
You aren't. You're the one. You're the smart one. You're the one that's like
your fun summer.
No, please give me a break. But no, you're absolutely right. So let's give a thumbs up to the show and to Kim McAllister for being the awesome mom that follows the rules 100% of the time. Because,
but no one else's mom does. That's what I get. No one else's parents care, mom.
I don't think that that's completely true. I think that she's saying that because she wants you to. Because I know. There are, you know what I mean? Because, and you know how I know so many parents are like, thank God she's reached a year or he's reached a year. It's we've crossed that boundary, which is important. It's a lot of driving experience that you don't have right at 16 years old. So you just don't, you know?
And I think part of driving and being a responsible person on the road is learning that you have to follow the laws. Like you cannot do certain things. You can't whip a Yui in the middle of the street with a double yellow just because you feel like it. Like you have to follow the laws set forth.
I mean, we do live in California with the California stop though. I'm totally kidding, but that was my first ticket that I ever got when I was a teenager. Was doing a California stop, and I'm like, I totally stopped, and the cop was like, "You did not stop." I was like, "Are you sure?"
I was teaching Julia how to drive, and there's this one stop sign that everyone California stops at,
right?
And so she tried to pull that maneuver, and I'm like, no,
stop.
That is not a stop.
You need to feel the car, go back. You stopped the car. And don't you love when they throw your own driving up in your face? You're like, stop.
Let's not start bad habits, right? I will say she learned how to drive a stick shift within 3 days. So that's
good. Cool. Yeah. I wish I had access to a stick shift. Honestly, we don't have any access to a stick shift. I don't know anyone locally that would like give me my car for my kid to drive.
Come on up to Petaluma. We'll get you in the Jeep and
I loved it.
How to drive it.
When I was young, I taught like all of my friends how to drive stick shift. Like all of them. It's not.
Oh, you already know
hard.
then.
Oh, I know how to drive stick. I'm talking about teaching my kids.
Oh yeah,
There's no stick shift for them to drive. You know what I mean? And oh no, I know how to drive every car. It was the stock car that I got. You know what I mean? Like I didn't get an automatic back in the 90s.
Yeah.
I was getting the most basic car ever that included a stick shift. So
my first stick shift was a convertible red 1995 Mustang GT.
I'm so jealous about that.
I bought it because I won $10,000 at a slot machine in Lake Tahoe. Forget whether it was 10,000 or 5,000, but whatever.
Wow.
It allowed me. It was used when I bought it.
Whatever.
But whatever. It was like my dream car, and so I won this prize at Harvey's in Lake Tahoe. It was like the wild machines with the 7s, and it was 3 stars that were like red, blue, and yellow, and the 3 stars hit, and I won. And
oh my God.
I used money for this convertible Mustang, and my husband was my boyfriend at the time, and I didn't know how to drive it. I said, I want that car. You've got to test drive it, and then you've got to teach me how to drive it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a great story. I've never known anyone that's like been able to not only hit the jackpot and then get their dream car. I haven't ever had a dream car. That's not my thing. I've never had one. I'm not that type of person that like loves certain brands or names or anything like that. I used to want like, cause it was cute, like a Mini Cooper or something like that, but I wasn't obsessed with it where like, I need to get it. You know what I mean? Like now it's just like, what has the best gas mileage? I don't care what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's all I care about, because everything is too damn expensive out there.
There is a call. I feel a call to have a car with no top.
Oh no, why? So you can get decapitated if you roll over?
See, there's just the feeling of the wind in your face, and then when you have the top down but the heater on in the evening, it feels so good.
No,
love it.
I don't mind driving in a convertible. I would never buy one because, as we know, as reporters, I just feel like I've covered way too many stories and heard too many horror stories of, ask any cop. Go ahead. If there's any cops listening, convertibles, roll over, lost your head. Like, no. I watch too many horror movies to like not see that constantly. So we were literally driving in Sacramento the other weekend because we were doing work up there, and there was a Jeep with a rollover bar.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's still not enough for me. My husband was like, that's pretty cool. And I was like, no, that's just not enough for me. I need more coverage. I need a roof and windows and sides and stuff like that. But no. But anyways, let's, first off, please throw a thumbs up. And if you'd like to support our 100% crowdfunded show, there are many ways to do that in the show notes. Because, we love being here and we love doing it, but it costs money to do it. So thank you all for supporting the show. Did you watch over the weekend any of the sports, World Cup, New York Knicks, the wrestling match at the White House, anything?
I might know, but my favorite thing I've seen World Cup related is the Tartan Army marching toward Fenway Park in Boston.
Oh, you're funny. I did not see that. I have not seen that.
God, it's so funny. I'll put this picture up because I know things are going on in your neck of the woods at PayPal Park. There's watch parties. There's all kinds
everywhere
of things happening. But I'll look for that. Well, because you went to one of these,
right?
So
we went last Sunday. I want to say it was Portugal, but anyways, so that's at PayPal Park. So obviously that's where the San Jose Earthquakes play. They have watch parties there, but downtown San Jose puts up screens. And if you know San Pedro Square, on either end of the street. Now this is a street that's been closed off to cars, and it always is. This is not a new thing. Just for this, they close it off, but they put screens on either end. And then all of the bars, because there's bars with seats out in the front, all have like little TVs. They have seating areas. I mean, and it's right next also to a parking garage, which is just so freaking perfect. So my husband and I'm going to show you this video. We went because we were going to another great event that San Jose puts on a couple times a year called Viva Calle, where they shut down all these miles, and you can bike and walk and do everything, and they shut it down to cars. So we were coming from that and a free concert at St. James Park, walked over to San Pedro Square, and here's what it kind of looked like.
The fun to watch, plays it across. Not fun to watch it.
So yeah. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So that was just one end of it. And that's just during a off, not, I don't know the standings of everybody, but it's not like it's packed, but it gets so packed. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like during the Mexico game. It was shoulder to shoulder. You know what I mean? So certain games are going to bring out other people, but my husband and I were sitting there and just thinking, downtown San Jose, and I know it's my hometown, so I'm totally biased, but they are doing such a good job of bringing back entertainment to downtown. Because we've talked about this before, Santana Row, kind of bougie. It's right next to Valley Fair. It's very trafficky, but it has all these shops and it's the outdoor mall and things like that. But people bag on downtown San Jose because we can't have the tall buildings because we have the airport right there. And we're always like the evil stepsister of San Francisco, right? But they're doing really, really well. They're having these huge raves, daytime raves. Shaquille O'Neal, who's also a DJ, put one on.
Is this part of the World Cup?
No, this is just something else that San Jose does.
Okay.
They periodically organize with this. I don't know if they're a nonprofit, but they put on all of these outdoor concerts. One of them was at San Pedro Square with Shaquille O'Neal. I forget his DJ name. He has a DJ name. It was crazy. I mean, it is literally a rave on the streets of San Jose. There's going to be one, and I mean, I'm using the term rave generously.
DJ Diesel.
Yes, DJ Diesel. That's right. We were going to try to go and just kind of be in the area, but we decided to stay home. But you can buy tickets and be inside. James and I are going to go to one in August. We've never done one, but it's not at San Pedro Square. It's at Arena Green East, which is kind of by the SAP Center. And which is downtown. It's around the corner, by Little Italy and everything. And it's going to be one of the biggest ones they put on. It's from 2 p.m. until 9. Perfect. And so I'm nah, I can go to bed. But yeah, I'm just so excited by things that happen within the community that bring the community together. I think it's just cool.
So this is a group, and I don't know how organized it is. It looks like at least these people in front were organized enough to coordinate their outfits, but they were joined by randoms and people joined this parade. It's in Boston. They marched to Fenway Park. Some attended their very first baseball game, but they were celebrating Scotland's match in Boston by what they call the Tartan Army.
The Tartan Army. Oh, that's too much fun. The march to Fenway. That's pretty cool.
Isn't it? I mean, look at all those bagpipes. And they're not all wearing the same thing. There's other, just random people that join the crowd. And there's other people that just are put on their kilts for the game and they're marching along. And how fun is that?
That's really cool. See, this is what I love about summertime.
It's kind of a community spirit.
Yes.
And people got really drunk after Scotland won and they ran out of beer in Boston. Did you hear that?
No.
Some of the bars were running out of beer.
Oh my God. They ran out of beer. Yeah, that tells you about the amount of drinking that was going on. Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That is so fun. Well, and then the Knicks, so the New York Knicks won. Knicks in 6, right? They won in 6, 5, whatever. I'm not obviously a basketball fan, but I did see the celebration, and thank God it wasn't in New York at the time. It was in San Antonio at the time. That's where they won it. They didn't win it in New York, but New York was going off. And I'm telling you, I watched news reports on it, and of course they're only focusing on the bus that got lit on fire and all this. But I'm telling you, if you haven't seen it, and I'd play it for you, but it'd get demonetized, so I'm not even going to bother. Jon Stewart was out there. Jon Stewart from The Daily Show. He did a whole segment. Go look it online because he was out there. He was in the village or whatever watching. And just the amount of celebration and love and singing. And he was making a joke. There was hella Spider-Mans, people dressed up as Spider-Man. I don't know. I just... When big events happen and they bring community together, I just absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. I think it makes you love your hometown. And the mayor, Mamdani, he's getting all kinds of kudos. He was celebrating with the people, watching the game with the people. Yeah, I mean, and again, there were screens apparently everywhere on the the ad boards, that normally put like cell phone ads, those were turned into the TVs to watch the game. The game was everywhere. People that lived on main streets would project the game onto the wall, apparently. So no matter where you were, you could watch the Knicks play. And I mean, there's nothing better than that. And they hadn't won in forever, right? Since the 70s, like 74 or something like that. So it was, it was just really, really cool to watch. And I'm happy for him. Oh, what's this dude going to say?
Just people exciting, people freaking out.
Hearing, oh my God. And I mean, think about how many people that is. Yeah. They said one person, unfortunately, was deceased and another person stabbed, but that's just, and John Stewart's like, just one? That's like lower than every other night. I'm making a joke. It's really sad, but I think with the amount of people that are out there and how happy they are.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, Kim. I'm short. I don't know if I could handle being in the middle of a crowd like that. Unless I had, you know what I mean? Like someplace to get up on, I think I might get a little claustrophobic. That kind of thing. But I love watching it. I love being part of it. I think
I had to cover for KGO the night the Giants won the World Series. They got sent down 2 different times, 2 years apart. And it was madness. And people were pushing buses over and lighting things on fire. And there were cars on fire in the Mission. And it was crazy. But I never felt like I couldn't get out of the crowd or unsafe. Like you could step to the side if you wanted to. You didn't have to be in the middle of the throng. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I've told the story on the show before, but I'll tell it again. When I was at KGO, I was a reporter. And I think I'd started there in September. So this was the first Christmas tree lighting I covered, and in front of the Macy's and everything like that. And there were so many people and I could not get out at all. I could not get out of the crowd. And so I pretended that I had to vomit. I just like covered my mouth and just pretended that I had to vomit, and it worked. People, I'm telling you, if you ever need to get out of a place, just pretend like you have to throw up. Just cover your mouth. That's all you have to do.
That's actually really good. I would never have thought of it.
Yeah, I just covered my mouth and I said, excuse me. And people will move heaven and earth not to get vomited on. Absolutely.
Get away from you.
Exactly. What else is coming up? So also that what happened was the UFC fight. I thought that was the tackiest thing that I have seen in a very long time. I want to bring up the video and I shut down my stupid screen that I had it up. So there's this Hokit guy. He was one of the wrestlers that was part of the UFC, whatever. He's a UFC fighter. And so this is the thing that pisses me off. And I know you guys are going to know what I'm going to say. The thing that pisses me off about what he says is if you are handed a microphone in which you can address, and I'm just going to say America because it's an America event, right? This is what you want to say. This is how you want to be remembered. And people being like, oh, it was a joke. He's a troll, blah, 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 blah. I do not care. This was so embarrassing. So if you haven't seen it, like, that's what you want to say. So I love how they have to throw in their Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I'm so religious. And then be the nastiest person ever. Like, save it.
The event was full of machismo and testosterone and, bloody fighting. And perhaps it's my snobbiness.
Be a snob.
Perhaps I'm a Karen.
No, you're not.
But I look at that man and I'm not even angry at him for his ridiculousness, because I look at him as someone who's not very smart. He's been beaten about the head so many times that he likely has, what is it, CTE?
Yeah.
Right? He's not like he's not the best and brightest. Like, look at the way he's talking. He thinks, he's so funny. He's not, he's just a big dumb guy. I'm sorry. Yeah. Like, I almost feel bad for him. I almost, like, did you hear not even very many people were like, woo, no, because you're dumb.
It's the stupidest thing to freaking say. It doesn't even make sense. No. And a lot of people are just like, she lives rent free in your house or in your head, dude. Like, let it go. But this is the other thing that pisses me off. He's trying to score points for his dear leader, right? Like, he calls out Donald Trump. Then he has to remember that you shouldn't worship false idols. So then he has to give a shout out to Jesus. And then And then he does the whatever shamalama ding dong thing. And then he has to call out Michelle Obama. Like, why? What? I agree with you. His brain is like, there's holes in it.
His brain is addled. Like he's not all there anymore. And maybe if he hadn't have ended up in the ring as some kind of champion, which means you've been in a lot of matches, which means you've probably taken a lot of blows to the head, right? Maybe he would have had ample intelligence, but he's not a guy that has a working brain system. Yeah. And so I feel kind of bad for him because he's been probably beaten in the head so many times that now he's kind of a big dummy.
Yeah, that's saying it lightly. I mean,
that's how I feel. Like, and it says a lot more about him than it does about Michelle Obama, because hopefully the world looks at him and goes, "Oh God, that guy, really?"
And it's not like she hasn't heard that crap for years. You know, they've been saying that about Michelle Obama, which I don't understand. She's gorgeous. I know. And why is it? This is the thing. Why is the biggest insult always that woman is a man? Like, what are we talking about here? Why is it always, oh my God, she's a man? I mean, I don't understand. Is being a man insulting? I guess to you it is. Like, obviously you're talking about her attractiveness. I get it, but it's just so stupid. And then Donald Trump, they're giving him some kudos on right-wing media because he took off the UFC chain thing that he was wearing around his neck, but he still smiled, and they still won't condemn it. They won't put out a statement condemning what Hogan said about Michelle Obama. She's a former first lady. And like, people are like, oh, what about what they say about Melania and how she was an escort and a prostitute? And I'm like, she took her clothes off on a magazine. Everybody knows that. And like, it's one
thing is true and one thing isn't true. I'm sorry if you don't want to admit it. Right. But there are actual pictures of her doing lesbian porn.
Right. So stop.
Like, not that I'm judging for that. I mean,
yeah, whatever. But exactly.
You know, but don't come at Michelle Obama. By the way, did you see this picture?
Oh, show it. Yes.
Opened I don't know if it's open to the public yet. The Barack
his memorial,
Obama, his library.
Yeah.
And they have this painting in there, and it's this kind of conglomeration of their different worlds, from the White House to their home, and it was painted by this African artist, and it's just an incredible portrait.
So beautiful. It's so huge. Pretty.
There they are looking at it, and I love it. I mean, how can you ever look at that woman? How can you? Exactly. I just like anybody.
She's a strong woman, and they have to knock her down. That's why.
Of course. Yeah. And she's a Democrat, and she's Barack Obama's wife, and for a million reasons. But I think we all know better, right?
I just don't know how you can compare Michelle and Barack to Donald and Melania. There's just no equating honest to goodness class versus a couple that I don't give a crap. They're classless. Right. They are absolutely classless. And the reason why I say that has nothing to do with politics. It has to do with their response to things that are happening. It has to do with the language that is allowed to be used against other people. Go ahead and show me Barack Obama or Michelle Obama in any way, shape, or form saying the most offensive things ever and then hiding behind the First Amendment for it. Like, you don't. But you see the Trumps do it over and over and over again. And Melania with her, I don't really care to you jacket and all other kinds of crap. And the fact that she stands by that man, no matter what, is a bit rich, right? So no, it's class versus no class. And I'm proud that Barack Obama and Michelle Obama were once our president and first lady. I am ashamed that we have gone through now 2 cycles of the Trumps. And I can't believe that America is willing to do that. But Donald Trump has gotten so many people fooled still to this day that I'm still keeping my fingers crossed about the upcoming, election, but still it's, I don't know. It's going to be a lot to watch, especially when we've seen headlines like they're going after Gavin Newsom. They're investigating Gavin Newsom. We have the question mark with Javier Becerra, who is, our candidate for governor, and whether or not that's going to be factored into this whole thing. It's scary. You know what I mean? To know what is actually coming.
Did you see, speaking of the UFC fight, the story about Kash Patel saying they interrupted some nefarious plot and drone
Yes.
attack? I have this, they say multiple people taken into custody after discussing plans on this chat website to attack the UFC event at the White House, one from Ohio and two, I think, from Southern California. The plot was to have involved using drones and a gunman to cause harm at this event. The FBI and the Secret Service uncovered the plans and messages between the suspects. So I don't think they ever really got to the point where, they were like lingering down the street or anything. It was they caught the messages and done. But people are crazy.
Yeah, I know. And his family, one of the suspected, suspects, his family actually reported him and was saying they were very concerned about his mental state, the fact that he had bought firearms and some of his anti-government rhetoric. But then they looked through his social media and it was across the board. There was, pro-Trump stuff and anti-government stuff. So it's hard to be like, oh, it's the Dems. Oh, it's the conservatives. No, it's just crazy. It honestly, it's crazy. And did you also see, speaking of that, how this administration is still moving forward with relaxing rules on guns that would deem people that are mentally unfit to serve government still be able to get a gun? Now, explain that to me. I don't understand the priorities of this administration that would allow something like that, especially because it's so dangerous. We need to spend how much money on an effing ballroom that now, by the way, reports show was always supposed to be funded by taxpayer money. So I just don't believe anything that comes out of this White House at all, Kim, at all. They lie to your face every single day and then spend so much of our money while telling us on the other hand that we're broke. It's just total BS.
I have another story to throw your way. And this is also about the kind of the macho feeling in sports. You can't celebrate other people. You have to denigrate. And I don't know whether this comes up as a macho thing or whether this is, going against your beliefs. Because I think even if you're not gay, you can make room for other people being gay. Celebrating pride
absolutely. Yes.
doesn't mean that you're gay, but there are members of Major League Baseball that are upset that they've got to wear these caps. And so here's the Giants. Some of the players are wearing these caps, but they've in protest have these Bible verses written on the caps as to say I'm wearing this cap in protest, or I'm
something in the Bible says that you're sinning by being a homosexual. Gay. Yeah.
And now there's kind of a backlash against the members of the Giants. They wrote these Bible verses on their caps during Pride Night. The Major League Baseball league says the warning wasn't disciplinary. These players have been given warnings and they are unrelated to the religious content of the message, because I would guess, does that go under free speech? I don't know. But pitcher Landon Roop wore Genesis 9-12 through 16 on his cap, saying the verses reflect God's covenant and his personal faith. But Major League Baseball officials say uniform rules prohibit players from writing messages on their clothing or their equipment, regardless of the wording. And they say they've issued similar warnings in the past for messages honoring family members or special occasions. So for them, you just can't write on your stuff. I don't know. I just think this is so dumb. Really, you can't just wear the hat and say, great that you're you and let's play ball. Right. You have to come out and be a jerk about it. Well, am I wrong? No, and people have their personal opinions and they hate the gay people and that should be allowed.
No, you're wearing a uniform for your job. You don't get to alter it, period. End of story. It's not free speech. Yeah. It is a uniform. It is required for you to wear it. Now, I can understand basically what that Bible verse that you said, it's about the meaning of the rainbow, right? What a rainbow is. It's a symbol of God. It's the promise. So basically, this is how I take it. They're taking the rainbow back. I could totally hear them saying it. I'm wearing the rainbow, but it's not because of that. It's because of this, right? And that in some way justifies it. God is not looking down on you caring about this. No. I love this idea that if he wore it without that Genesis Bible verse, that God was going to strike him down because homosexuality is a sin. Stop. It is absolutely not that. Wearing the rainbow colors, especially during Pride, shows that you're an ally. Doesn't mean that you're gay. It doesn't mean anything like it means you see people that love a different way than you, and they are allowed to do so. Like,
but what he's saying is, I'm not an ally.
Right.
I think you're going against God. I don't like you. And I've never understood this, Nikki.
No.
Why anyone would care what the guy across the street is doing in his bedroom.
Thank you.
Do you not have enough of your own problems in the world? Do you not have to worry about winning the game? Are you really that stressed out about someone else's love life that you have to be all like weird about it? You know,
I think that it's more along the lines, and this is what I understand, is that by allowing it, but in your community without speaking out against it, it's as if you're doing it yourself, or that you're participating in that sin. That is a man-made excuse for discrimination under the guise of religion. It is not, and I will say this, I do not believe that is true. There are so many things in the Bible that these people do every single day that are considered a sin, and you don't see them offending other people about it. But it's political. It's just so wrong. And they're trying to hide behind their Bible to give them permission to discriminate and hate on people. It's as simple as that.
Did they not realize when they signed up to be San Francisco Giants that they were in San Francisco? Have they heard of the Castro? Have they heard of the rainbow flag? I mean, this is like, we don't do that here. Who are these people?
Well, they're people that got traded here and probably didn't have a choice.
They have to be traded away. Get other people in that reflect our values. You're
Goodbye.
Gone. You're out.
Bye-bye.
And I don't know if and feeling like that, does that mean I'm the one being intolerant of other people's opinions? Because I kind of look at that and I go, okay, well, that's how you feel. That's your first knee-jerk reaction. But does that mean that you're as intolerant of their opinions as they are of yours?
It is a good argument. And it's an argument that is often made, especially about liberal people, is like, oh, the party of tolerance is so intolerant for beliefs that don't align with theirs.
Sure.
But there is a difference. And I feel like it's said so clearly that I don't understand why people like this man on the other side don't get it. My belief doesn't hurt anyone, but yours does.
Yes.
Like, that's the difference. Like, you may not believe in gay marriage, or then don't get gay married, right?
Maybe they think we're hurting God in some way.
Well, then let that be between me and God. Like, you are not the decider. So this is the thing, is like, if my actions and my words are not hurting anybody, that's good. But you're going out there and saying hurtful things. You're expressing hurtful thoughts to somebody that, one, you don't know, probably never have to interact with.
Right.
And I bet if you did know them, you would probably, at least in some way, small way, change a little bit of your viewpoint if you liked the person, right? Like, I feel like when people hate gay marriage, they don't really know anybody that's gay married, just married basically. But you know what I mean? Like, that's gay and married, because I think if you know people intimately, personally, and you like them as a person, it does not matter what they do in the bedroom. It doesn't matter. So what? Love is love. And it's as simple as that. Just let people love each other. Why do you protest love? It is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
I often say, keep your eyes on your own paper.
I know,
people.
Exactly.
Focus on your own life. Do your own thing. Leave the other people out of it, right? It's the hat you have to wear for work. And maybe in doing so, you're lightening up the pressure and the stress and the discrimination on people that are in your community.
But I just feel like you'll feel better about yourself when you're more inclusive. I've never met extremely happy people, unless they're surrounded only by people that they align with their thoughts, right? Extremely happy people that discriminate against others. I just don't. I feel like when you start hating on other people, it eats at you and your soul and your happiness, right? Like, you're putting that out there. Now, if you're sitting in a household with a bunch of bigots and racists and you're all like chirping at each other and saying terrible things about others, I'm sure you are happy. But if somebody was listening in, it would sound so hateful and ugly that's what you're putting out into the world.
Well, yeah, you have anger in you. You have hate in you. You have judgment in you.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
I mean,
and just like that guy, that Hoka guy that was saying that about Michelle Obama, everyone's calling you a troll. You know what I mean? Like, you're just being mean. Oh, is it more of the guys with the Genesis? Obviously they have a group chat. You know what I mean? Like
they organize. Apparently, this is something churches say. This is how this particular sect of Christianity is attempting to take back the rainbow.
You can have the rainbow as well. It's not like gay people just have the rainbow. You can believe in the story of the rainbow in the Bible. I think about it. Often when I see a rainbow in the sky, I don't think about gay people. Okay. I don't, because I was raised Catholic and I know the story. But yeah, it is a promise. A rainbow is a promise. How about promising to be a better freaking person instead of just writing crap on your hat? You know what I mean? Like,
I like that.
It's just so dumb. And God was just promising not to flood everybody. You know what I mean? Like, sorry, I killed like half of the world. I promise not to do that again. That's what it was. 40 days and 40 nights of rain that killed hella people. God promised he wouldn't do that again. Are we really talking about this story? You know what I mean? Like, let's stop already and bring it down to 2026 and stop with the freaking nonsense. Okay,
And they had to know when they did that to their hats and they put them on and they walked out onto the field that it was going to create a.
Oh yeah, they wanted it to.
Yeah, I mean, happy Pride to you too. I guess.
I know. I love Pride. There was a story that I wanted to talk to you about Pride, but it happened earlier. Did you hear about that? I think I still have the sound here. I do have it, of that stupid Republican that was talking about homosexuality and how it has no place. And he said this like right at the beginning of Pride, and he got slammed by fellow Republicans. So, Congressman Andy Ogles.
There's hope in the world, you mean?
Yeah, honestly, yes.
Yeah.
So this Andy Ogles guy comes out and says, homosexuality has no place. And this is a fellow Republican that is calling him out about this. Is Congressman Mike Lawler.
Hey, Congressman. So your colleague, Andy Ogles, today wrote on Twitter that homosexuality has no place in America. Agree or disagree?
Disagree, and strongly. The fact is, Andy has, I'm sure, family, friends, neighbors, colleagues, constituents who are in fact gay or lesbian, and that doesn't make them any less worthy of being an American. And frankly, I just think he's a idiot for saying that.
Well, I mean, those are pretty strong words, considering that he's a colleague of yours. I mean, are you going to talk to him about it? Do you think anyone on your side of the party is going to say something to him, given that it's created such a reaction?
I'll say something to him when I see him.
What are you going to say?
You're an effing idiot.
Just what I just said.
That he's an effing idiot?
Yeah. The fact is, look, we can have policy disagreements. People can argue about different issues, but America is built on freedom of expression, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, the freedom to be who you are. And there's a reality of life that we're not all created the same. And so, yes, there are gay people in America. And the idea that somehow they shouldn't exist or they shouldn't be here is frankly outrageous and insulting to so many people. So to me, that was just a extremely idiotic statement on his part. And he should most certainly apologize for making it.
Should he be reprimanded by your party, do you think?
I'll leave it to leadership. The fact is, from my standpoint, that's just an idiotic statement.
I know.
I'll leave it at that. I just loved it. I mean, well said. Well said.
It worked, because just a couple days later, here comes Representative Andy Ogles saying, earlier today, while working on the farm, my phone began going crazy because of a post made by a member of my comms team. He's just saying he didn't do it. The post was stupid, hurtful, and a complete distraction from my America First focus. The employee has been reprimanded.
Yeah, the employee's in the fucking mirror, Andy. Like, give me a break. Give me a break. No, I'm not buying that bullshit. No. I love how it's an unnamed, mysterious colleague or employee. No, it was you asshat. Oh my God.
And isn't that kind of, and there's Representative Andy Ogles, and isn't that taking a page from Trump, who always blames some random
they,
when something goes wrong? Yeah.
It's always them or they, or then they know the pronouns, right? They just own it. If you're going to be an ass, a homophobic asshole, own it. You know what? Stand in it. God's watching. You know what I mean? So like, if you're going to do it, do it. You said it. You wrote it. You put it out there. Like, you don't, and if you don't know what is being said on your behalf, you're incompetent. Right. So no, I don't buy it. I think he knows exactly what he did. I think he's trying to, again, hide, because that's what they do. Right. Instead of owning up to it, they're going to hide. And it was a stupid thing to say. Come on.
And this is not his first time at the stupid thing to say rodeo.
Oh, right.
Because here we have another one. I mean, these are the people. This is a Republican from Tennessee who says Muslims don't belong in American society. Pluralism is a lie.
What the heck are you talking about?
Now, maybe that was back in March a few months ago, but still.
That's how he thinks. Yeah.
This is not the first dumb thing he's said online. You'd think he'd be more careful now.
No, they're idiots. I mean, sometimes I think like that Lawler guy, he was eloquent and said what I would say, regardless of political party, right? But there are so many Republicans, and especially in Congress, right? Because there's so many of them, that you just wonder, how are they going to fix that party? I understand that America is vast and big and has many different viewpoints, but when you can just post things like the Muslim thing, what world are you on? What world are you on? We are of all different religions. We were founded on this. And I thought we used to be proud of it. Yeah. And it's so sad that it seems to be going the other way.
We're not. We hate all the people. We hate all the people that are different from the people we think are the real Americans, right?
And what is a real American? You know what I mean? America is not like every other country. It just isn't.
The white
we
person
are not
that
founded
goes to
that
the
way.
Baptist church, that's the white person that goes to the Baptist church in
it's
the
not.
South.
No.
That's the real American.
No.
In California, apparently we're not real Americans. I don't know.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
Oh God, no. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's Donald Trump and his ilk. And I hate to say it, that whole, again, going back to this 250th anniversary thing, it just seems so white trashy. And we talked last week about the singers that are pulling out, not wanting to perform at this. Yeah. And I get it. They're like, I don't want to go to an event that's going to be political. And they're like, it's not political to celebrate our anniversary. No, it's going to be political because Donald Trump's behind it. It has to be political. That's it.
I know you love a good comedy show. You know Nate Bargatze?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he's funny.
So he is funny, but he showed up at the UFC fight posing for pictures with who is it? What's his face? Patel and his girlfriend or whoever.
Kash Patel. Uh-huh.
And now he says, and this almost makes me not like him more than I did when I saw that picture. Because now it was RFK Jr. and his wife.
Oh, okay.
Because now he's saying, yes, I went, but I'm not political. Well, so in this day and age, when the Constitution is being shat upon and our democracy is in trouble and our elections are in peril, and there's redistricting and there's cheating and there's all kinds of issues, and Trump talking about third terms and taking away birthright citizenship and all of the things that matter to America, that should matter to every patriotic American. And so Mr. Ha Ha Chuckle Chuckle says he's not political, and then he could stand there with RFK Jr., who's killing people because of his policies.
Exactly.
And say, I'm not political. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. And I'm not taking that. I mean, first of all, shame on you. Shame on you to say you're not political and that you don't care about your country and you don't care about that. You think you cannot take a stand,
compartmentalize everything? Yeah, no.
You can't. And then when you show up and you stand next to these people, I'm sorry, but that's a political statement.
So I'm going to play devil's advocate just because. So Nate's a rising star in the comedy world, right? Like he's got a game show that I tried to watch. It was not very well. It wasn't good. But he's doing a lot of stand up. He's doing commercials. You know what I mean? Like he's a rising star. So I'm sure his agent's like, hey, we got this ticket to this huge event. And I don't know his politics. You know what I mean? He's like, he always tries to play that middle America dad guy, right?
He says he's not political.
Right. No, but I mean like his registered,
right.
Like
his personal politics. Like,
right.
He
exactly.
it. Yeah.
Right. And so, so his agent's like, you should go to this thing. You're going to see a lot of people. Okay. And so he decides to go, which I agree with you. I wouldn't go. I think that that's a bad move, given the fact that you weren't born yesterday and these things are going to be politicized. Now, this picture, God, it bothers the crowd. Hines, right? Is it, what's her first?
Hines.
Hines.
Cheryl
Hines.
Yeah.
I loved her in Curb Your Enthusiasm, but now I can't watch it because it just reminds me too much of RFK Jr. So what do you do if you're a comedian, rising star again, and they come up to you and they're like, "Can I take a picture with you?"
Well,
do you make a political statement and say, "No, I don't take pictures"?
Well, no, you've made the statement by showing up at this event. You've made the statement. And I'm sorry, but if your agent is saying, "Oh, you're a rising star, you got to show your face and be seen at this big event," did you not see that when Snoop Dogg showed up at some Trump concert, in the days following, he lost 1 million followers? If you're trying to build up a following and you're trying to build up an audience,
you're busy that night.
This is the wrong way to do it. This is costing you followers. And so from now on, if I see his reel pop up in my feed, I'm scrolling past. I'm not looking at it because I look at this and from now on, I think he's one of them.
Yeah, that's what a lot of them are saying, that he's been exposed as MAGA. It'll be interesting to see the fallout. Now, again, I think that Nate Bargatze, or however you say his last name, I think he's funny, but he's not like Dave Chappelle, right? Like he could go away and people probably wouldn't notice. He's just not that, he's not at that level yet. You know what I mean? Or even maybe a little more in line, Jim Gaffigan, right? Because Jim Gaffigan's really clean. And so is Nate. Very clean in their comedy and their jokes. And that's why he's lovable, is like, you can listen to him anywhere, right?
He tells a lot of jokes about his wife and his kids and family life.
And it's funny, and it's cute. Yeah. He doesn't do political jokes. He doesn't do anything like that. So it is, I agree with you. It is pretty dumb to do this move unless you are a supporter. And being a supporter, it can be both good and bad for you. I mean, it can go either way. MAGA, support MAGA. You know what I mean? Right. So who knows?
And when you're asked after the fact and you say, "Oh, I'm not political," I'm sorry, but it falls flat.
Oh, saying you're not political, I think, is actually worse.
Right.
I hate when people tell me I'm not political. Right. You know what that means? You don't disagree with Donald Trump, right? Like, or you don't care what's happening to people. Now, I'm not saying you have to be like us, always following every little thing, but you have to know what the hell is going on. And you have to understand why the guy on the far right is batshit crazy.
Yes.
She is dumb for staying with him. And it's a joke what's going on. Yeah. It is a joke what is going on in this government, in this administration. And it has impacts on people that you probably do care more about than politics. So that's why I hate when people say, "Oh, I'm not." You are. Everyone's political. Right. It's whether or not you give a shit or not. Because everything impacts you. The Department of Education is being disbanded. They're handing over like civil rights and special ed to Health and Human Services and the DOJ, because the DOJ really gives a crap about civil rights. Like it boggles my mind. Bills are being signed gutting Medicaid. That's going to impact people, Nate. You know what I mean? Like there are consequences for not paying attention if that's even true.
I
There's
mean,
just consequences.
I was just reading a story today about the GOP, about the Trump administration having now key people in key places that could affect elections and whether we actually have elections. And they're trying to sway elections in a million different ways. I was listening to David K. Johnston today talk about all the ways that the Trumpers are trying to, above the surface and below the surface, dig in and get involved in trying to sway elections. Who can afford not to be political right now? Unless you really don't care about America and you don't care whether we vote, or you don't care whether the core tenets that these MAGA people in the South seem to feel makes you patriotic.
Yeah.
Right?
Or they agree with it.
They're not so important anymore, these tenets. And what makes you patriotic is watching a flyover at the UFC fight in front of the White House. I guess that's more patriotic than the Constitution. Is that right?
Oh yeah, because it's all for show. It's all pomp and circumstance and bowing down to Trump and whatever he wants and being yes people and honestly seeing who could be the most extreme in some cases, right? Look at even at that UFC fight, you heard a little bit from Hokett earlier, but this idea that you had to say something complimentary about Donald Trump. Right. He's got balls to put this on. It's not brave to put on a white trashy UFC fight on the front lawn of the White House. Why is that brave? He has money in the UFC. He was grifting during the entire thing, selling money that you can't actually buy anything with, but he'll take your money to have a coin with his face on it. You guys are being scammed over and over and over again under the guise that this is the most American thing you can do, and it's not.
It was the first for-profit sporting event or first for-profit event held at the White House.
And he's lining his pockets with really it ugly. All. Yeah. With it all. And he doesn't of course see anything wrong with it. His family doesn't see anything wrong with it. But it boggles my mind that the American people, some of them, his supporters, still don't see a problem with it. Still. It's ridiculous. So what do we have? We have the Trump phone that's not made in America, that he's selling for more than it's worth. There was the Trump watch, right? That didn't have the T on it because there's no quality control in anything that Donald Trump does. It's the fact that he has a financial stake in UFC, in all of these things, in crypto, in all of it.
I was reading that
he's making money off of it.
Bought more shares of it before this event.
Exactly. Now, come on, people, give me a break. And then this guy has the audacity to sue us for himself. So Donald Trump sued again the IRS over those tax returns, and then he had to settle with himself for almost $2 billion. It's really uncomfortable for me to approve this settlement with myself as both. Are you fucking kidding me? And people are like, yeah, that seems normal. That's not normal. None of this is normal. And you guys just, and they look at us Democrats like we're the fools.
But I'm not political. I'm like, really? Then you don't care.
I don't get it.
Then you're stupid, right? Then you're stupid.
Then he's stupid. The settlement, I love this line, the settlement that the president reached with himself, which acting attorney general Todd Blanche announced last month, included $1.8 billion in taxpayer money for that fund, which of course has been pulled back. But again, the fact that Donald Trump in any way, shape, or form could be in a settlement with himself because he's the government and then using our money to pay him, it's insane. Ridiculous. And I'm so glad that the slush fund is no more. But
the real issue with that was his immunity from him or his family ever being audited by the IRS. And I think that was it's called a get out of jail free card.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah. No.
I mean, that's full on grift.
Oh, right, absolutely. Don't look at us anymore about what we did. That's it.
No. But you know what they are spending our money to do? Go after Gavin Newsom. The retribution tour is in full swing still.
Of course.
So, use all the money to do all these crazy things, including a witch hunt to go after the Newsoms. Now, they don't know why they're going after the Newsoms, but according to Governor Gavin Newsom, they're just trying to find something, anything that will work. Anything that will work, because for the first time, we hear Gavin Newsom saying he's thinking of running for president.
I know. And that's the crazy part.
Employees.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Here we
Because
go.
they found a crime, because they're simply trying to find one. They're demanding records. They're abusing the grand jury process, digging through years and years of random documents. Donald Trump isn't just coming after me because of my mean tweets. He's coming after me because I'm considering running for president. Because he hates that I've consistently called him out over and over again for his lies and deceit. Donald Trump is simply the most corrupt president in American history. He's turned the levers of government into his own personal power ministries to reward cronies and to try to jail his opponents. His personal attorney now runs the Department of Justice, which has repeatedly gone after his political enemies. Ask Jerome Powell. Sent them after James Comey, Tish James, Adam Schiff. He sent them after Tim Walz, and a woman that a jury found Donald Trump had sexually abused. One by one, anyone who has challenged Donald Trump has ended up on his hit list. And today, I proudly joined that list.
He and his wife now proudly joined the list.
You know, I understand why Donald Trump is targeting Gavin Newsom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I do get it. He also said, he's like, go ahead. He's like, read every page. He's like, but the corruption isn't here. It's over at the White House. And I completely agree with that as well. Here's the question though. First off, what do you think about Newsom? I mean, considering is carrying a lot of weight in that sentence.
We knew. I mean, everybody
knew.
who didn't know, he's written a book. He's been, going to different states. He's been on the world stage. He's mounted this national campaign against Trump, which he had to know that, Trump would come back at him with something like this, because everything Trump accuses someone else of doing, like weaponizing the DOJ, is actually the thing he's doing. And we know that. We figured that out. So I think that Newsom had to expect that Trump would do something like this, because that's who he is and that's how he operates. But I think it's interesting that he finally admitted that he's considering a run. I'm going on record and saying, I don't think he should run. I think he should be the thorn in the side of the Republican Party to say all of the things that the people that are running cannot say. Yep.
That's what Gavin Newsom's role should be in 2028. That's what it should be. He needs distance. We cannot go from Kamala Harris to Gavin Newsom. It's not going to work. If as a party, this is their candidate, we have a high probability of losing. Gavin Newsom is not the one. He just isn't. He doesn't bring anything with him, as far as getting votes across America. What are you bringing? You got to be a libby lib to be in love with Gavin Newsom. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to take a hell of a lot of convincing to convince middle America, who are tired of this GOP, to go all the way over to the left to Gavin Newsom.
I don't think that, and I don't like to say it because I am a Californian through and through, but I don't think America is going to vote for a liberal from California.
No, that's what I'm saying. It can't be from California.
We're not. They're just not.
No. Kamala Harris was the closest we got, and we're done for now. That's it. Sorry, Gavin, if this is the year, or 2028 was the year you wanted. No, it's not going to happen.
Maybe
we should not waste our time.
I mean, could be wrong.
No way. No freaking way. So much shit is going to haunt Gavin Newsom across middle America. COVID was still way too close, right? With the French Laundry and all that kind of crap. It's too close.
And some scandals. We got the PG&E scandal.
Exactly.
We've got the what was the restaurant your friend owns it, so the law doesn't apply to you.
Yeah, exactly.
That scandal, there was a scandal with the SoFi Stadium, and because his buddy was a builder of that. I mean, so he's got
scandals,
skeletons in his closet too.
Exactly. And I understand that being a governor is a great stepping stone to being president. I get that, and I agree, but not this one, and not right now.
Yeah.
Gavin, again, he could be the best troll. And I think that's what we need, because we're supposed to be the party of, like, again, class, maturity, but we can have the most immature Gavin Newsom ever, and it won't hurt necessarily the candidate that we actually put up there to compete against whoever it's going to be on the Republican side.
All right. If you don't want Governor Gavin Newsom, what do you think about John Ossoff?
I don't dislike Ossoff. I don't. But you guys know who I'm in love with. Sorry, but go ahead.
See if I count.
Says he wants to grant tungsten mining rights to an American company. And the very next month, Eric and Don Jr. get a stake in the American company pursuing the mining deal. 6 days later, 6 days after Prince Eric and Prince Don get their stake, Kazakhstan announces this company will get, quote, the largest known undeveloped tungsten resource in the world. A few more weeks go by. And then the US government, run by their father, sets aside 1.6 billion of your tax dollars to fund and finance their mining project in Kazakhstan.
Is that crazy?
I know.
All this while you pay more for gas, for groceries, for healthcare. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Billions from foreign princes and oligarchs.
Mm-hmm.
Sweetheart real estate deals all over the world. Taxpayer funding to Trump-backed companies. And listen, here's the bottom line. If you're involved in any of this, next year you'll be raising your right hand and swearing to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God in front of the United States Congress.
I love how they cheer as if that means anything, but fine.
And
it doesn't mean anything, but fine.
I mean, doesn't that have to be the message, though? You're not going to get away with this grift. We're coming for you.
I don't believe it. I mean, yes, that's the message, but nothing will come from it. Have we not learned? I mean, we are freaking Charlie Brown, and Congress has the football, and they keep saying they're going to do something, and they don't do shit. They don't hold anybody accountable at all.
Even if they try to, like January 6th, all it takes is one rotten election, and in comes the other party to pardon everybody again.
Look, the only change that we need is, one, to get Donald Trump obviously out of office, which is going to happen no matter what. And two, to make sure it's not another MAGA person in there that's going to continue this nonsense.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of crimes that the American people, and I'm going to include all of us because it happened, allowed under this administration, under the guys that he's the most transparent president ever. Yeah, he's telling you straight up that he's stealing your money.
Mm-hmm.
He's grifting you. You guys are morons. I don't understand how anybody still supports this guy. And yeah, he's giving sweetheart deal after sweetheart deal that benefits either him or somebody he wants something from.
Yeah.
And it's so obvious. It's so obvious. And then you have people like JD Vance and others going on the media circuit being like, well, you can't believe what the media says. Conservatives own the media in America. No, at any point in time in history, one political party has owned the most media in this country, and it's Republicans, it's conservatives. That's it. The Ellisons, Bezos, they all are on Trump's side. So when anybody wants to feed you this line of bullshit that it's left-wing media, which one? Which media company? Please inform us of which one is left-leaning. It's total BS, and it pisses me off. But they're going to feed it to you, and American people are going to be like, that's the mainstream media. The mainstream media is conservative. It's conservative. You're just a moron and can't read. I don't know.
But I think that has to be the Democrats' message going forward, pointing out the grift, pointing out the putting of the money in their own pockets while people can't afford things, while they're spending taxpayer money to make even more money for themselves.
I'm also concerned that as Donald Trump ages, and who knows what's going to happen over the next couple of years, that the people that want to replace him on the conservative side are going to try to distance themselves from those decisions, right? Well, that was a Trump and Trump family grift. That's not us, right? We didn't have any control over that. And as if there's going to be some sort of, line of demarcation or something between Donald Trump and his family's crimes, literally, and what the next candidate they put up was actually responsible for. And I'm talking about JD Vance and others that are going to really try to say, hey, this is what we were told, blah, 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 blah. And how much of MAGA voters are going to buy it?
Right.
I'm not Trump is going to be the rallying call from the conservatives.
I saw a story today that JD Vance is now backtracking from the comments he made. Remember when he said something about cat ladies?
Yep, the crazy lonely cat ladies or something. That was one of the stupidest things I've ever said. Now
he's saying it's one of the stupidest things I've ever said. When he said it, he was given a chance to retract it, and he didn't.
And he didn't.
He doubled down, and then he tripled down, and then he said it again. And then he was like, I mean it, women and cat ladies and the single women. And you need to have babies, and you're the worst because you just want cats, and you don't want to, you're not fertile, and no one wants you, whatever. Okay. And so now that we're, elections are coming up and he's being considered as the person to carry the mantle of the GOP forward, he's like, well, that was the dumbest thing I ever said. I didn't really mean that.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I get that people make mistakes, but I don't think that was a mistake. I think that was a politically expedient thing for him to say to that base at the time. And now he realizes that maybe it doesn't attract a wider audience, wider, W-I-D-E-R, not whiter, although I guess both could apply. And now he's trying to distance himself from that. But I feel like people need to be held accountable, and that we need to not forget.
Yeah. And we won't. I mean, obviously, once the presidential campaigns are really swinging, all of that will be dredged up. But I don't know if Vance is going to be, the candidate. I know he obviously wants to. I don't know how much Donald Trump's endorsement is going to carry, given the fact of what we just talked about, of whether or not MAGA wants to separate from him or not. But there is such a difference between our parties that I hate when people are like, I don't like either of them. Really? The reason I'm upset about the Democrats is I just don't feel like they do enough to punish the other side, right? Or to hold them accountable. And I think that the Democratic Party gets distracted too much. They make promises and then they're not working across the aisle enough. I'm not saying they don't try to, but I feel like they need to be building more of a bipartisan coalition with the people that are not batshit crazy on the Republican Party. You know what I mean? Like, and it needs to start now. Like, okay, are we done arguing? Are we done arguing? Let's leave Trump out of this. Let's get some stuff done. We need to fix healthcare. We need to fix inflation and these prices. What are we? And we need to stop looking for the W for our party and look for the W for the country. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need it to just be my bill or that's almost identical to the Democratic's bill, but because it has a D after it, we have to be against it. No, stop with that nonsense. It's the infighting within the political parties. That is the only thing that I will also hold Democrats responsible for. But as far as what they care about, as far as the rhetoric they put out or the goals that they set out, oh, hell no. I'm a Democrat all of the way. Republicans are an embarrassment. What is this? Oh, is this him talking about it?
Democrats via our corporate oligarchs by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made. And so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. And it's just a basic fact. You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children. And how does it make any sense that we've turned our country over to people who don't really have a direct stake in it? Look, what I was basically saying is that we're effectively—
What an asshole. I mean, just play that on repeat.
Right.
Play that on repeat. Like, you're less than American if, one, you don't have children, right? Stupid. Like, you don't have a stake in the future unless you have children. That is an insane thing to think and then let alone say on national television.
Right.
Yeah. The way that the Republican Party views the nuclear family or whatever, like this man, woman, 2 children and a dog, white picket fence bullshit. It's so antiquated. It's not what America is. And I don't know why they keep holding so strongly to it when obviously America is not like that. And doesn't support that 100%.
Or is it? Because we see this common stream, this common string kind of winding through all the stories we've talked about, from the rainbow hats to the comments at the UFC, to men putting down women, telling women who they should be, how they should look, putting down gay people. Like, if you're not like us, if you're not the way that we want you to be, if you're don't fit the GOP image, that you're less than American. It's just an extrapolation of this theme that is carrying through. This is who they are. I was reading something, it was a comedian that we used to work with, Joe Klosek, in San Francisco, and I just wish I could bring it up, but he wrote something about that comment made by that UFC fighter on the lawn about Michelle Obama during a UFC cage match with blood on the ground. Like, that's the most American way, most honest American way to celebrate the 250th anniversary of America, right? Like, if we're going to be honest,
we're going to have racism, we're going to have blood on the streets, we're going to have tackiness.
That's America. Just lay it all out. Happy freaking birthday.
It's true, but it's gross.
Right.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I get it. It's like, yes, let's express blatant racism.
Right.
Let's bash each other's head in for no good goddamn reason.
Right.
And but it's not, but at the same time, it's not what we aspire to be. Like, are we looking forward to the next 250 years, or are we celebrating our very, very flawed past? And that's a really good question as we head to, July 4th.
Mm-hmm.
What is America's next 250 years going to look like, if we even last that long?
Yeah.
Obviously I hope we do. But some decisions really make you wonder. But yeah, who are we as a country? I think that's honestly a question that we had since day one of the forming of this country until today. It's, who are we? And I think the best answer, in my opinion, is I would want to be an inclusive country. I again, going back to that melting pot analogy, I remember being raised with that history lesson. We are a melting pot. That's what makes us unique, is that people from all over the world came here with the one hope and prayer that they would be able to find freedom in religion, in speech, in so many ways. And yet, sometimes I feel like that ideal that we formed this country with is just another shield to protect all of those dark areas of racism and bigotry and war and everything like that. It's a double-edged sword, all the freedom that you get here, because then you have to hear the nonsense too.
Here's the quote. People are surprised that UFC fighter Josh Hokett called former First Lady Michelle Obama a man. Why? This is what these people do for no reason, with no facts. They make up conspiracies about people with class and intelligence. An ignorant guy insulting a Black person at the White House might be the most honest way to celebrate America's 250th birthday.
Yep.
Right?
So well said, Joe. Yeah, absolutely. God, there's, and I know that I always let my, bias show, but God, I wish we could have celebrated 250 years with a Barack Obama in the office, like a Black man at our first Black president, standing over that point in history, instead of we have this orange dude lying to our face, grifting, and that's how we're ringing in 250 years with a guy that wants his face and name plastered all over. We didn't even talk about the removal of his name off the Kennedy Center. The man baby needs a tarp over it, because God forbid we know what's going on behind the curtain. You know what I mean?
They had to hang up a giant shower curtain because they didn't want the bad PR of seeing his name.
We know what's happening.
We know what's happening. They still have this. They still have
the
curtain up.
He's such a child. He's such a baby. And I don't know why anybody would want to work with him.
As Jimmy Kimmel says, he's throwing a Trumper tantrum.
A Trumper tantrum. Exactly. It's the part that they had like 24-hour cameras on it just so we won't miss them taking it down. And so in response, they have to hide it. Like, it's so dumb. At some point, someone's going to pull those tarps down.
Can you imagine being those construction workers?
No, I'd hate it.
And instead saying, okay, now not only do you have to put the scaffolding up, but we need you to hang this striped tarp up so that no one can see what you're doing.
No.
I mean, really?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
so embarrassing. He is such an embarrassment. It's great. But it's, he was born this way. I don't think Donald Trump has ever changed. That's why people don't like him. In New York, where he's from. That's why he's in Florida. Yeah. It's 250 years. I
He needs to
don't
get
know.
used to it, because it is the first time we've seen his name come off of something during this term. The minute he's out of office, don't think that his name will be pried off
yanking
of every
it off.
circus, every
Yanking.
map, every Gulf, everything. His name is gone. Maybe the people in Miami or wherever the airport is will keep his name on the airport, because that's a red state and they can do what they want to do.
Yeah, that'll probably stay in some places. But
yeah.
I mean, and again, he has been our president 2 terms. He is going to be in the history books. I'm really curious on how, when we look back, what we choose to focus on and what we choose not to. Because, he only likes positive history. I mean, if we say anything negative about American history, then it just goes against our founding fathers, which I don't know who thought of this asinine idea that we have to, I don't want to say whitewash, our bad history. It doesn't make any sense. I learned the same history about Christopher Columbus and the missions and Lee and everybody else, right? I learned it all, and I'm still a good American. I don't need it whitewashed. Thank you very much.
That's the tarp.
Yeah, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy, though. I am so happy that they took it down.
Curtain. And look at the head of the headline: Fragile Trump mocked after giant curtain used to hide name removal.
That's so funny. That is so funny. You gotta love it. You gotta love it, Kim. Okay, let's talk a little bit about some other stories.
Okay.
There was a couple sad stories that came out recently, and it's going to be a little morbid, but this is the question that I really wanted to talk to you about, is this idea of YOLO. I know that's a kind of an antiquated saying, like you only live once. Do things while you're young. I'm going to be completely honest. I've never wanted to do this before. And then I saw a video and I was like, maybe I'll try it. And that's base jumping. Now, I would do it tandem. I wouldn't do it by myself, of course. But if you don't know what base jumping is, you basically stand on the edge of a cliff and you jump off with a parachute. And it's not the same as skydiving, because obviously you would be in the sky to skydive. But I saw it and I was like, that looks really cool. And I saw a number of videos with older women doing it, right? Like 50s, 60s, even 70-year-olds just tandem jumping off and having the time of their life. And I was like, that looks really cool. And then I saw this horrific story about this poor woman who died while bungee jumping. And I think, was this Brazil? I think it was. So she was in Brazil. She's 21 years old. She wanted to be a PE teacher, and she wanted to be launched from a bridge. Now, we're going to show the video. I'm going to do a warning. I mean, this woman dies. Okay. So the video that you're seeing is literally right before she dies.
We don't see the actual death, but we see the cause of it. Yep.
We're about to see the cause of it. Okay. So play the video. So if you notice, there's no rope attached to this poor woman. So
they threw her to her death.
Now, a lot of people are wondering if this was in some way, shape, or form premeditated. There is nothing I've read so far that these men knew her, would have any reason to do it. Now, they were unlicensed. They shouldn't have been doing this excursion or whatever the hell you want to call it. Did they just get so caught up in the whole airplane style toss that they didn't notice?
She asked for that, by the way. She wanted to be lifted up and thrown over like she was Superman.
Yeah. So tragic. And she's young. She's 21 years old. She's not my age, in her 40s. Like, I know I'm much older. Not that I would want to die this way. So a couple questions for you, Kim. One, she went out and I have a coworker that we used to, it's a terrible thing to say, but like when somebody died tragically in ways in which they chose, like at least they went out doing what they loved, right?
Mm-hmm.
She chose this. She knew the risk. Like even if the rope was attached, we've seen rope snap, we've seen other problems, right? So she's well aware that there is a risk to this. This is why you do things like this.
That's why you get that adrenaline rush, because there's danger involved.
Now it is tragic. There is no happiness. There is nothing like that. But at the same time, there is this idea of taking a risk in life, right? Like no one gets out of here alive, people. So if this is the way you go, way too young, totally tragic. I'm not saying she wanted to go this way, but is there anything wrong with doing stuff like this? If she had kids, if she was married, would that make it worse?
She's 21. She had her whole life ahead of her. I mean, her name was Maria. And she fell 130 feet to her death. And here's my question. When does she realize that she's not attached to anything? Is she hurtling through the air, turns around and thinks, oh, shit, there's nothing.
Where would it? Yeah.
Where's the rope? Or does she not realize until like she gets way too close to the ground? Or does she never realize? Like, when is she just waiting for the spring back, the bounce back motion, and it never happens? And she's like, oh no, it's coming, it's coming. Or does she realize she's untethered?
I would imagine at some point going down, she realized she was untethered, because there has to be this. Well, I don't know. I mean, this is what I hope. I hope she never figured it out. I hope it was just lights out. You know what I mean? Like that there was a smile on her face because she was flying in the air and that's what she wanted to do. That feeling, because I've skydived a couple of times and it is just this awesome rush. And if it could be just this awesome rush, I'm so happy right now. And then it's just done.
I don't think that's the case. I like that you are Pollyanna about that, and that's the way you hope.
I would hope it is.
But I feel like there's a feeling of something like heavy.
Or she heard them say the rope as she's falling.
Or she heard it from the beginning, or she felt something, or she somehow looked back and saw nothing keeping her. I bet she knew about midway down, this was a done deal, and this was it. I just read this book called This Book Made Me Think of You. And it's about this young woman who loses her husband. And then his last gift to her comes after she dies. And he's given her, she's a kind of a bookworm. He gives her one book every month for a year after his passing. And it's all of these things that he thinks will help her heal. And, one is a book about running to help her exercise. One is a book about cooking to help her eat right. But also there's books about taking risks and camping in the wild and doing things you've never done before. And so there is something to, you only live once and get out there and experience the world. But there's also something about being smart about it. And I don't want to call it Darwin Awards, but the people weren't licensed. The whole thing is hinky. If you're going to go bungee jumping, I'm going to be the one making sure and asking questions about, what's this rope safety rating? How do you know that it won't snap in half?
Right.
Have you inspected that? When was the last time it was inspected? I'm the idiot. I'm the annoying one out there double checking, especially if it's me or any of my loved ones going over the side of a bridge. Because, don't you have to ask? Don't you have to look and make sure that at the end of the day, you're responsible for your own life and safety?
Yep, exactly.
It's like, don't walk across an intersection without making eye contact with the driver who's coming for you, right? Like, you can't trust anyone else in the world. You've got to take steps to make sure you're as safe as you can be. And that there's no 100% guarantee, but come on.
Yeah.
This was probably not the best move.
And apparently she was technically rope jumping, which is different from bungee jumping in that it uses less elastic cord, meaning you swing back and forth rather than bouncing at the end of the jump.
Maybe she didn't know.
Yeah. So, but I was reading that description, and there was this other guy that died like in 2013 in Utah. And this is just another thing to factor in. He was rope swinging and he miscalculated how much rope, and he left it too loose when he clipped it into the waist harness. So even when you have the rope attached,
why do I have to study math?
You know what I mean? So even when you do these things, it's like mistakes can be made. And so in my mind, obviously my heart goes out to this woman's family and her friends. It is absolutely horrific what happened.
It's horrible.
And again, if it's not premeditated, I'll even say I feel bad for these workers. Yes, they were unlicensed and they shouldn't have done it. But can you imagine being a person like you killed somebody?
Who forgot the rope?
And like, or threw her. Like
flung her off a bridge to her death.
So
and then
sad.
whoever's got the video camera pans in on the rope like, oops.
Nobody noticed it wasn't attached. I don't, that's the part that's like a huge question mark. It's like, isn't that the first thing you do is you put the harness on with the rope on it? Like
you have one job. I mean,
you had one job.
How are you at your job?
Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe the rope was too long too.
Well,
of course they were arrested.
3 people are being charged. And I would have to think it was something like I don't know what their charges are in Brazil, but something like a negligent homicide, not like a premeditated murder or something, because it seems like just a stupid accident.
Absolutely. And unless, I'm sure they can still be held very much accountable for using this as a business also and charging people who are probably under the assumption that you're licensed or what have you. Right. But it's just, tragedy can strike at any time. There was a story out of Santa Cruz just a couple days ago. These teenage girls were at Bonnie Dunes, which if you don't know the area, it's in Santa Cruz. Kim, you're well aware of it. I'm aware of it. It's a very popular beach. Apparently they fell asleep and a riptide came in or sneaker wave came in and pulled them in. Their dad says these 2 girls, UC Berkeley, I think, one was going to UC Berkeley. One was going, I think, to a different college. The dad says that the phone and bags were dry. So he doesn't think that that it was a big wave that they just got caught real quickly and like scooped out to sea. It's something you don't think of when your kids say, I'm going to go to the beach. You know what I mean? I mean, I know you can't have that.
Well, yeah, we were in Monterey and my son was waiting and there was the set of waves that just came and pulled him out and then pummeled both of us as I ran in to chase after him and then pushed us flat down against the sand. And it was like a washing machine. I don't think I've ever been so scared in my life. I thought finally when I got him out and then I was pushed down by another wave, I thought at least I saved my kid. I honestly thought this is how it ends. I truly thought. I mean, the waves were so strong, my clothes were ripped from my body. It was, you don't know the power of the ocean.
Exactly.
So for these young women who are beautiful and accomplished and almost ready to graduate from college, and again, their whole lives ahead of them, to fall asleep at the beach, right? With their toes a little too close to the water. Yikes.
Yeah, the other one was going to San Jose State.
You just don't think of it. I always tell my kids, never turn your back on the water. But I guess what we should say is, don't take your eyes off the water.
Nope,
right?
Exactly.
Don't sleep on the beach unless you're way far up. Don't do it. If you're anywhere, you don't know. Like, is the tide coming in? If someone's getting out
the beach, and all of a sudden you're hanging there, and the ocean just comes right up. You're like, when did this happen?
Right.
It's scary. Oh, well,
really sad.
It's so sad. They had their whole life in front of them. Like you said, they're about to graduate next year. But yeah, you just got to be careful, especially summertime where everyone's just outside doing amazing fun things. The beach is a very popular place to be, but you got to pay attention to those warnings. You know what I mean? And they had set out warnings regarding the hazards in the water, but it's just nothing you think about. My daughter's gone to the beach with friends and I say the same thing, but you never really think about it. You ever spend the night at the beach, like on the sand like that?
Mm-mm.
You've never spent the night at the beach? I mean, I have, not next to the ocean though. You know what I mean?
I've been at the beach at night, but I've never slept out there, camped out there. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's nice, you wake up to the sound of the ocean. They have tons of, sunset, and they have all kinds of beaches that you can camp at. But yeah, just try to keep in mind, there's being young, there's doing fun things, but then you definitely want to come home the next day. It's definitely not something that you want to have experienced to you or any of your kids, because that's just awful.
So in Maui, out at Black Rock and Kaanapali, yesterday there was a weather alert issued, big waves out there. I was reading recently that they say it probably on average of one person every month.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, dies out near Black Rock snorkeling out there. The waves are really rough. Guess where I'm going this summer?
I was just gonna say, I was like, where are you going? To
Kaanapali. Yeah.
Kaanapali is so beautiful, though.
It is beautiful, but you have to be careful and don't think after everything that's happened, after seeing all the stories, after Jacob and I having a close call in Monterey, that I'm not going to be like on
extra
my
vigilant.
children are going to be like, well, I'm going to say, can we just go to the hotel pool? Maybe that would be our better.
Put some life. You know what? If you want to be out of my sight, put on a life jacket.
Just the ocean's really unpredictable, and you have to be careful. And even the most careful people, you know, I was reading another story saying that sometimes that people drown in the ocean off Hawaii because, you know, they panic. Their heart starts beating fast.
Absolutely.
And they swallow some water and like that's it. Even if you're a good swimmer, it can happen to you. So people are caught, you know, unaware. I just you got to be careful, especially all of you that are watching that are planning to go to the coast this summer. I just be careful because I love you.
Exactly. And that's a great way to end it because I know a lot of people
looking
travel.
toward the chat as if anybody's there right now. Like, please be careful.
Hey, be careful, people. No, but it's true because a lot of people travel to the coast in the summer. You know what I mean? Or even like I was saying, I was up in Sacramento with the rivers, very cold water, very fast moving, trees, branches, all kinds of stuff. You never underestimate Mother Nature and the power of water. It literally shapes our planet. So it's crazy. Just be careful on the summer. Okay. So you're going to Hawaii when? Next month?
Next month. Yep.
I'm so jealous. Let us know in the chat if you guys are going anywhere fun because I want to like kind of like take a little poll of where we're going this summer. I'm staying home. I did my big trip last summer, so I'm not seeing any more of America.
I will tell you that I feel really guilty that Julia has been so many places, and Jacob told me that he doesn't ever remember being on an airplane.
Well, when's the last time he was on an airplane?
He flew. He was 9 months old, and we were going to Hawaii. That kid has not been on an airplane. He doesn't remember flying. He's 12.
Tell him to start joining freaking music, and that's what
I said. Music apparently means you get to travel.
It does, though. Put yourself out there. You know what I mean? Take those opportunities. I've seen all kinds of kids never say the thing. I've never been on an airplane before. I've never been out of the city, or this. Let's just say the state before. It's not uncommon. You know what I mean? It is a very privileged thing to not only fly on an airplane, but then like your daughter's left the country. You know what I mean? And
multiple times.
All of these beautiful, amazing places. And she does it because she's a talent and she put her hard work in. So that's what you tell Jacob. You're like, you know what? Fall in love with something and you'll benefit from all kinds of stuff. So
but this is going to be a big deal for him. The first time he ever remembers being on
he gets the window seat.
He does. Yes, he does get the window seat. That kid gets whatever he wants.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, well, that's our show, you guys. Thanks for being here. Obviously, this was a recorded show. We did record it this week, but thank you guys for watching anyway. Please support the show if you are able to. All the ways to support the show are in the show notes, but a thumbs up and a share with your friend is the number one thing that we ask for because we love to grow this community. We will be back live next week, next Thursday, 5:00 Pacific. Yeah. We will be back here to talk about what other nonsense is happening all around the country and the world. I am off to Tahoe this week. Kim McAllister will be right where you know, we're right here on YouTube. And we'll see you next week. Okay. Love you. Bye.
Nikki, you're all so awesome. You're sprout, like a beautiful blossom. You're also the best. I really can't rest. You're all so awesome.
Wow. Okay.